That is the departing freight train from Salt Lake. It's already loaded, and it might be missing a few containers, but once the container arrives, the yard jockeys run into it and load it on the train. As you see, it is almost complete, and both chassis will be removed after the break time. And then they will get the rail ready for the morning train that arrives about 9 o'clock in the morning. Now the cranes are taking a break because they finished the job, and since I have an hour and 7 minutes, I might be able to go to the other side of the other two lines to show you how the complete train looks like. This is one segment. It is 8 segments, 2 on my right side, and next to them behind me 2 more, that's 4. Then the other line on the north, another 4, that make 8 segments. That will make about somewhere between 150 and 300 rail cars. And here are the 2 cranes that are reserved, and the other 2, here are the other segment. This one is not complete, so this one they are going to start on it, I think, after the break. Now it's almost 11:44, very close to midnight. Of course, the work depends on how fast the drivers can bring the containers to the yard, so the train cannot wait. A lot of drivers, if you have a mechanical problem, even though you are reserving a spot on the train, if you cannot make it, the spot will be left vacant. Those are the guys that came early with 4 containers, and behind them another segment, and this gap between them will be filled from now until maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. After the train is, everything is completed and loaded, we will go to the other side to see the engines, the train engines, that they are going to pull this kind of load. Here another, those are not rail containers, those are trailers that will be loaded as a single unit. And here is the crane that is taking up. I think he now started, because he turned the lights on, which means he's ready to work. He's getting ready to run. This segment of the trains looks like only trailers, not containers. And the other segment is containers, rail containers. The trailers are single units. The containers come with chassis. So you don't see chassis here, because the container comes, the trailer comes, and they lift the entire trailer with the wheels of the trailer and the landing gear, and they put them on that rail cars. Carefully, I might stop here to show you how these rail cars on this side are different from the rail cars on the other side. On this side for trailers, they have a wing on each side for the wheels of the trailers. The other side are containers. Then here the trend changed, because if you look carefully, they changed the rail car. This one here is for, this one is for trailers, this one is for containers, then you have containers here. So it's a cocktail of containers and trailers. These are containers. And they align them next to their brand, next to the brand of the rail cars. But stop here to show you carefully the difference between the two. Here, if you look at this rail car, it has a stand. That stand where the trailer sits on it, the nose of the trailer sits on that stand. If you look at the other side, it is a box. The rail car is a box, and the container is dropped in it, inside the rail car. And this one here, this is UPS, for example. This is a trailer, not a container. Well, of course it contains, but it is one single unit. The box and the wheels are one single unit. It has to have a certain platform of the rail cars to sit on it. This is another crane. It is ready to roll. He's going to work on that segment of the train after the break time. I think he finished the brakes. He finished his brakes. And that other train is the one that is completed. And they put the segments together. Here you can tell there is no train. This is the other line, which means they completed them. They completed these two segments, which are 8 segments, and they put them in one sequence as a line on the side. And every segment completed will be pulled by the train engines and linked to the other completed segments. What is that poor orphan chassis doing? Most probably he did not make them yet. Here there is a huge problem with maintenance. Enormous number of chassis. Each chassis have to have electric circuits checked, have to have the mechanical test checked. Here is a segment of the train that he is working to complete. This looks like a segment of, I think it is a mix between containers and trailers. Whenever you have a chassis, that means you have containers. Whenever you don't have a chassis, that means you have trailers. For example, here are chassis. Next to them there are the containers. Here are trailers. Next to them the rail car for trailers. is the segment for the engines, the train engines. Usually you have 4 of them here. Usually you have 4 of them. Now we have only one, and here is how they fuel it. If you look carefully, you see the fuel truck. The fuel truck is next to it, and he is extending the hose to the diesel tank of the train. So he is fueling this train engine. This is like a fuel station for the trains. Usually you have 4 trains here to be inspected and fixed. Most of them is completed this job early. And those are the reserve trains. And this is the main office of the Union Pacific.